Nowadays, there's a lot of body shaming and a lot of proud, beautiful women displaying all of their beautiful bodies. And I'm just curious how you feel in your body.
A lot of insecurities, actually. Many. No, I'm not comfortable in my body at all. Moments. I'll have moments where I feel pretty good. Um, I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, that's not so bad. But mostly, no. Terribly insecure of my body. Constantly comparing myself to other women.
I used to be Fat Daniel, believe it or not. And I had a growth spurt, and I also exercised like more than anyone. I exercised literally like for 4 hours a day, and it was all I did growing up, and that was sort of what changed for me. And then I couldn't feel funny anymore, personally. But I used to have that same thing. I would always look at myself in the mirror, and my saving grace was that I was funny. You know, I was fat, but everything I said was hilarious, and that was my defense mechanism. And then when I lost weight, I couldn't be funny anymore. And I was like,
That's not fair.
I didn't feel comfortable with being skinny.
Yeah.
That was actually worse for me. For like that actually, I didn't have a defense mechanism for being skinny, which was weird because then people wanted things from me, and I was like, I don't know what I can't give you. I don't know. I'm not ready.
I like my lips and my smile.
If you could pick just one, though.
Just one. I think I like my eyes a lot. Yeah.
I like them. They're nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Do you feel like your eyes get you in a better position than other women when you're talking to a man?
I think they could if I use them, but I get so
How do you use your eyes? You
I
have
get
seductive
nervous. I
eyes?
usually like don't do eye contact.
Do you have seduction eyes? You have bedroom eyes?
Do I have better?
Yeah, pretty good.
Definitely my lips. I would think so.
Mm-hmm.
They're obviously big, and I think I get
Luscious.
judged. I think I get judged negatively and positively on that. So I mean, definitely now that like the whole thing with like lip injections,
Oof.
I think I'm blessed. I don't have to do all of that now. But before, I definitely got teased for it. So I think that's
Ladies,
a
They're
body part
real and they're
Yep.
fabulous.
Yep.
But do people and don't be offended by this because people say it to my boyfriend too. He's from the Caribbean. He's black and he has big lips. Do people ever say DSLs? You have dick sucking lips?
Yeah. Growing up, that
I know.
was in Jay-Z lips. No one
Right,
ever
right.
said Angelina Jolie. Everyone said Jay-Z, and I
Angelina
don't
has a nice
understand.
lip.
I love most of my body. I hate my feet. And I think working out is important and health.
Why do you hate your feet?
I used to be a ballerina and my toes look like shit. So I try and kind of that's my own complex. The other thing I don't like about my body is I wish I was taller.
You're pretty tall for a woman, aren't you?
I'm only 5'7", I wear big shoes.
Okay. Don't you find that very few people ever see your feet? So why do you worry about it?
Like my feet in my shoes or my shoes?
No, your feet.
Well, people totally look at other people's feet.
Yeah.
I also don't walk around in flip flops, so like,
I mean, I'm looking at your feet right now. I just see boots. That's what I mean. Do you?
all right, so it's like more like when I go to the beach and I'm lying there with all my friends and they're pretty painted toes and I've got like these gnarly feet. I'm like, great, you know. Men notice feet.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure everybody notices.
I mean,
There's-
don't you? Like you.
I'm not a big foot guy. I never have been. That's not a turn on for me. It's not usually something I'm looking at. If you've got some like real gnarly feet, I mean, you might notice it, but it's not something it's not going to be like the end all be all for me. I know like when I go to the beach, it's like a hereditary thing. Like on the male side of my family, like if we're not in shape, if we're not like working out, we pack weight on our love handle. So even if like I'm in good shape, I will feel fat or I will feel like it's always like hanging out that way. It's just like the way my body is structured, but it always creates this perception in my own head that like I'm not in shape or I'm flabby or I look fat. And like I ran the New York City Marathon in November. I was in pretty good fucking shape, but even then, just because of like the way like my body is structured, like I would still feel like I wasn't in good shape or I didn't look good.
Do you think you have body dysmorphia?
Definitely. I think I think a lot of people do. I'm not saying that that justifies, me having it, but I think a lot of people see themselves in a much different light, physically, mentally, you name it, emotionally, than other people see them. It's the way other people see you and the way you see yourself are so different. They're vastly different. It's interesting to talk to people sometimes, and you have a conversation where you compliment somebody, or you're telling them that they do something well, and they almost reject it because they feel so downtrodden. They feel the exact opposite. And I think with men and women, it's interesting because I can have that insecurity about myself, and you can have that insecurity about yourself, but neither one of us are actually even looking at or focusing on those insecurities, but we put barriers up in front of each other.